Okay, hey, we're live here at we're in Roy City, Bulldog Stadium, and it's homecoming night. It's a first district game. I'm Chris Pena, Jason Tanksley, yep. James Branch. Here comes the man, Brandon Neighbors, who's up there calling the game. I'm going to join them after the half. I'm going to join them upstairs and call. I wanted to get some cool video. Listen, the Bulldogs lead 21-14 at half. They've done some really good things. They had the one turnover, but the story of the night so far is the rushing. Roy City, 318 total yards. North Forney, 169. 313 yards rushing for the Bulldogs and just 80 for North Forney. The highlight is, Sam Mitchum's show, 192 yards and 3 touchdowns, but Kenneth Springs trying to make it a race because he's got 106 yards in that first half. Guys, what'd you see up there?
I mean, we're really taking what they're giving us. I mean, if you look out there, we're running a double tight set, okay? Double tight set, so we got 6 men in our box, right, our blocking guys. They have 4 men on the down line. So they're trying with those 4 men, though, to do a lot of stunting to try to mess up our scheme. But when they make a mistake, we're ripping off 6 or 8 yards every single time. The other thing is we're running double tight with that slant formation in the backfield. So we have a 3-back set, right? 1 back to the right side of the quarterback. Then we have a slant set with our H-back and our, I think we called him an F. And when we have that set, they are not adjusting that set. They're still keeping their 2 safeties back. So our offensive coordinator is obviously seeing, like, we got to play the numbers here, and we are. Until they bring those safeties out and bring them up into the box, we're going to keep running the ball.
Yeah,
and the score should be different.
And that's the name of the game right now. I mean, this is just old-school power football. This is, hey, we're going to run Sam. You know what we're going to do. Stop it.
Jay, so what did you think of the energy of the Bulldogs in this first half?
I like to see the energy of the Bulldogs this first half, okay? So the first 2 games were coming out the season. This is the energy that we saw from them the first 2 games. Now, against Melissa and against Arlington Bowie, I think we kind of got taken by surprise a little bit, and it kind of deflated us, and it kind of was like, oh gosh, because the name of the game tonight is power football. Like I said, we've controlled the line of scrimmage on the offensive side of the ball, but we've also controlled the line of scrimmage from the defensive side of the ball. I've seen our defensive line stepped up, linebackers have stepped up tremendously, getting edge to edge. Safeties are coming up, making plays at the line of scrimmage. And so energy is great. It's maintaining that energy for the next 2 quarters. Because as James and I and Brandon knows as well, and you as well, Roy City traditionally is known as a first half team. We normally come out, we put a lot of points on the board first half. Second half, teams make adjustments. So really, for me, the key thing is that what adjustments are we going to make? Are we going to make any adjustment? What adjustment is North Forney going to make coming into the second half and keeping that momentum going?
And it was cool to hear James, in the first in the pregame, we talked about how we're going to set the edge and keep this guy controlled, right? Well, we're seeing up there that we're absolutely doing that.
Yeah.
The defensive ends in a stacked 3 formation. We're really running like a 3-2, right, because of their set they're in. So we have 3 down linemen. We got 2 linebackers, and they're literally setting the edge.
Yes.
Who was it that made the play on that right side over there from backside middle linebacker?
That was Caleb Robb.
Yeah, Caleb Robb on one of the plays. The quarterback's escaping to the far side out there. Robb comes over the top of a tackle block and gets to the edge and sets it, and we tackle him for a loss. And that's huge. And we knew in pregame that was going to be a big deal, and it's absolutely become part of the game.
James, your thoughts on that first half?
It pays to do your homework. And I had a guy come up to me, and he goes, man, are we ever going to throw the ball? I said, no, until they move the safeties up. Then you know what time it is.
Well, I mean, James, you
then
know.
Then it's time. It's Roberson time after
There's
that.
2,000 coaches up there,
Absolutely.
Right? But at the end of the day, until you've been down here or really understand the game, it's hard to say, oh, are we going to throw the ball? Can you throw the ball? But you're looking at what they're giving. They have safety over the top on both sides.
Well, you kind of mentioned it, the matchups and what the teams are going to do and how they're the game dictates what you're going to do.
Yeah.
If you're rushing for 313 yards in that first half, well, then why are we going to stop it? Yeah. Until they can stop it,
exactly.
We don't need to throw the ball. On the other hand, North Forney needs to throw the ball. They've got a playmaker in Ernest Thomas, and a couple times he's touched the ball. He's made a couple moves and looked special. I think that's an adjustment they're going to want. They got to figure out how to get him the ball.
They're trying to pick on Branch, and I told him, I said, I'm obviously old school, so they probably don't teach some of the techniques they taught us back in the day at corner, but Branch is over the top of him at a point down here in the end zone, right? So if you attack the ball high at that point, you can't even attack it with fingertips. You have to attack it with a jackhammer. If you don't attack it with a jackhammer, you got to attack the back of his heels, and that's the only 2 options you have. And I think if he jackhammers it, the ball comes out, but I would have liked to have seen even more him hit him in the heels, and then his back hits first, and then he doesn't jump anymore.
Well, and if you notice the whole game, coaches got them guys playing 10 yards off, right? Yeah. So they're hitting them little ones, and they're going to give them to them.
That's life.
You saw in one of the plays, Harper actually ran in on him and got him when he only picked up about 3 or 4.
Yeah.
And we were running off the field. I said, hey, man, you got to, and he goes, I got it. So obviously they're talking. North Forney made some adjustments in that second quarter.
You're giving, it's your kid, so you're going to be emotionally involved,
sure.
Right? A 3 or 4 yard gain on the outside swing out to a one-on-one situation is what you've given up as a defense, and that's okay.
Yes.
You're doing that on purpose. He also had tried to attack him earlier in the half. I think it was the first quarter. He tried to attack him on the same side. The guy gave him a little stanky leg. Branch went for it, but then scrambled back and dove, and he still only got 3 yards. So Harper's doing an excellent job out there on the edge.
If you're North Forney, you have to feel like you've done pretty good despite giving up all those yards because you're 1 score down. And you go into half and you're like, hey, listen, we're giving up chunks of yards, but we're just 1 score down. We're a turnover. We're something away.
You're 1 big play away.
Right.
Like that touchdown that Sam broke.
And here's the deal.
Honestly, that's 1 big play that they made a mistake on. Sam hit the hole, exploded through the hole, and he was gone.
Don't forget, we get the ball.
Yeah.
So if we take that ball and we go down and score, baby, it's on.
Yes. How about 2? I want to talk about 2 plays real quick, and you guys give me your opinions because we're up there in the box. The first play, did we or did we not see the North Forney kid touch the ball down there after that punt?
It sure looked like it to me.
Oh,
okay.
Without a doubt.
Everybody in their box thought they touched it. Everybody in our box thought they touched it. Not real sure what was going on down there, but you talk about a big play. That could have been a game changer.
Yep.
Number 2, did we get 4 timeouts in the first half?
Hey, I don't know anything about anything.
Hey, I'm not out here to badmouth anybody, and I love when you take advantage of what's given to you. But I know for a fact, because I was very dialed in, we called an early timeout because of an exchange between the 5'5" receiver that plays at 6'5".
Yep.
He didn't get off the field. We called a timeout, okay?
Yeah.
Then we run a play. The next series, we called a timeout on a 4th down and then called a second timeout, and I'm pretty sure that's 3.
I don't know what you're talking about, man. I don't know.
I was up there, I'm fingers and toes, and I'm like.
I think it was Michigan that got 5 downs one time to score.
Yep.
But we got 4 timeouts, and I think they might have felt bad for him down there because I'm pretty sure he touched the ball.
They gave him 1 back.
Even the kid thought he touched the ball.
Yeah.
Because he got down, and he gets up, and he's like this, and when you get down and you do this – Yeah. You did something.
Absolutely.
Right.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Really quickly, some scores around the district. Rockwall 23-13 at the half over Mesquite Horn. And Heath is up 21-7 over Mesquite at the half. Obviously, the Hawks had to win something. It didn't matter if it was 7-0. What they just needed to win to get back after what happened at Wilkerson last week. And then, of course, Rockwall. Hey, listen, Horn's hanging in there.
Mesquite Horn's scrappy.
Horn is not a bad team.
Not at all.
Horn is not a bad team. I watched them on TV last week. Horn is not a bad team. They're going to be a force to be reckoned with, especially early in the district. They're a football team that people are going to have to recognize and understand that they're going to come out and play you.
Well, based on those scores, I mean, that just kind of magnifies how important this second half is. Because you want to get a win and see Horn and Mesquite drop a game, and now you're feeling a little bit better where you're at in the district. So, I mean, it's going to be really important second half. Brendan, just same old stuff, right? Just run the ball until they stop it?
I mean, I think so. I mean, Branch, you're seeing it. They're literally running a four-man front. They're running a 7 technique with both defensive ends. 7 technique is inside eye to outside eye of the last man on the line of scrimmage if he's a tight end. It's a 5 technique if there's only a tackle. But at the end of the day, we're running double tight, so it's a 7 technique. And then on the back side of wherever our running back is, they're actually gapping us. So we have a C gap wide open. So there's a B gap coverage of a defensive tackle in pre-snap assignment.
Yep.
But the defensive end's in a 7 technique. So you have a gap and a half to play with. And I think as long as they're going to give us that, we're going to take it.
It would not surprise me if if the Bulldogs can come out and run the ball early, if they start opening up, because North Forney, as the game gets, the clock starts winding down, they start focusing more on that run, and then things start opening on the or down the field for Jonah and then those guys.
Yeah, hey, run it till they stop it, and when they stop it, we got a little couple guys for you. So
and one of the things that I like though is that I love to see is that Roy City came out tonight, and it's just different. I mean, it's a different game plan tonight. Because normally we come out and we try to be balanced. We try to we try to be balanced with the run. We try to be balanced with the pass. We try to force plays a lot of time that is not. It doesn't fit our scheme and our type of kids. Tonight there is no doubt what Roy City's coming out to do. We're coming down to just ram the ball down your throat. Here it is. Stop it.
300 yards rushing.
Yeah,
already.
Yeah,
I'm going 600 yards rushing.
So I want to say this. I know we're live, and I'm not going to call out a kid name because I don't want him to have to remember this, but we had a quarterback absolutely smoke a linebacker right here around the 40-yard line.
Twice.
And, I mean, in the NFL, we'd have held up peace sign as he was running. It was unbelievable. So, I mean, they're looking at trying to stop Sam Mitchum, but our quarterback isn't afraid to run the football.
Well, that's what I said, over 100 yards. And obviously that touchdown that Sam scored, that 2-yard touchdown, was set up by the 57-yard run.
Right.
So
I don't think he saw that guy trailing him to his back left, because you remember he checked back over his right shoulder a few times, and he saw the 2 guys trailing there. I don't think he knew the guy was to his left. I was in my head. We were live, so I wasn't saying it. But I was like, please tuck that ball, because last thing you need is to get to 99 yards, and they pump it out, and now it's a touchback going the other way.
I will say a big weapon for Forney is their punter has been pretty good. He's punting though. He's switching the field pretty good in that, but obviously
I'm feeling pretty good about this. If they let us keep doing exactly what we're doing, if I'm these other teams in the district and you're going to watch film on us, you're not going to have much to look at.
No.
Because, look, we got a whole lot more weapons than just these 2 guys, Spring and Mitchum. So let's keep it going.
We have set something up that the viewers can look at if they're going to tune in back upstairs. We had a 4th down play where we did a pooch punt, okay? We set up trips right, 1 guy left. We had a tight end lined up on the left as well. Tight end was uncovered. All they put back there was a linebacker right over the top of him. I believe that if we get in the bind again, they're going to run that thing that looks like a pooch punt, and it's going to be a pop pass to the tight end streaking down the center of the field, because there's no –
Why are you telling our game plan?
I'm just telling you.
I mean, we're live on Facebook right now, and you're telling everybody.
I called Romo. He told me that's what was going to happen, so I'm just going to roll with it.
We're still talking Romo, huh?
Yeah, exactly. Bulldogs lead 21-14 here at half on homecoming. It's packed. There's a full stadium. There's stuff going on in the background with the drill team and things like that. Before we get out of here, just kind of closing, anything surprising that could happen here in the second half, that you're just a little worried about?
Yeah, I'm worried about the defense. We've got to they made some adjustments in the second quarter. They started gaining some yards. We need to get back and tighten it up a little bit, and shut that down and keep playing hard. We've got Bruner. Bruner went out with an ankle. We'll see what happens. Maybe he'll come back. We need all hands on deck, and we need those corners, Evan and Branch, to continue to stop those guys. Don't let them pick up 10, 15 yards every time they catch the ball.
And I think it's going to be important for us getting the ball coming out of half. We've got to go out there and instill that dominance once again. We've got to go out there and set the tone for the second half with that first possession.
Yeah.
If we can do that, then I think the rest of the game take care of itself. Now, if North Forney comes out and if they hold us to a 3 and out and we've got a punt, that's going to switch the momentum to where it's going to give North Forney some confidence. It's going to put some questions in the Bulldogs, in their mind.
Yep.
So I think that first possession coming out of half is going to be key.
I agree. I truly believe the score doesn't dictate the game. I think the score should probably be 35-7 right here. We fumbled the ball right down here on really just a miscommunication between quarterback and running back. That was an obvious first down. We saw the C's just parked, and the pull just didn't happen. But if we drive it down their throat in this first play, it could potentially put the nail in the coffin.
Yeah, it doesn't look like the North Forney quarterback likes to be hit.
No.
And so, if they can get physical with him, and if he's going to get some yards, at least make him pay for those yards.
And I don't know I know y'all had to see it. He came up limping.
Yes.
Yeah.
On the sideline.
Keep an eye on him.
Yeah.
Yep.
I guarantee you they're taping him up in the locker room right now.
Well, we got a good one. If you're looking at it on paper, you're thinking if you were guessing the score, you'd probably think there's some separation. It's a one-score game, but, again, I think we've said it over and over. If the Bulldogs can come out and run the ball and just continue that, things are going to open up, and it's going to put a lot of pressure on North Forney.
Turnovers in kicking game are a huge part of wins and losses, and right now Roy City's losing on both.
Yeah.
We've turned the ball over. They haven't. And in the kicking game, we've done the pooch kick, and, they've gotten great field position. We finally decided to kick the ball out of the back of the end zone. And I'm sure we're trying to pooch kick over there and trying to get, maybe put it in an area where we go get a recovery or something. But that kid over there picked up the ball, and I thought it was going to be a house call.
Yeah.
So I think if we win in the kicking game, we minimize turnovers for this second half, we're going to be fine.
Yep.
Yeah, and it's been a pretty clean game. I mean, penalties-wise, Bulldogs just 3 for 25. North Forney hadn't committed a penalty yet. I mean, or at least on here, I can't go back and remember. But
and that's the thing, James, is that it's not the silly penalties either. It's not the backside. Whenever Sam cuts backside, we get a holding call,
right?
And it negates a big run. It's been a clean game, like you said. On paper, it looks as though Roy City should be,
and we usually
ahead.
have more penalties than that.
Yeah.
So I can definitely tell we made some adjustments. Like maybe 2 weeks ago was a wake-up call, man. Maybe.
I also believe that this half, and I told you the first half, I think we're setting it up. When we run that trips formation, they are still keeping safeties deep. They keep both safeties deep, and they're running a cover 4 or cover 2 look. I look for our track star to run some type of I call it a Y pop or a Y cross. He's going to come totally across the field. He's going to catch the ball somewhere in the middle, past that linebacker, and it's going to be it's over.
Yes, sir.
Because they are bailing out on that backside and have 2 safeties deep. So I look to see a big score out of him this quarter as well.
Absolutely.
Well, we got a big second half coming up. That's I think, guys, I think that's going to do it for our halftime show. Really good insight, really good stuff. And I thought it was a really fun first half. I really like how they responded after, the past couple weeks leading into the bye. I thought it was really good. I thought the O-line looked great. They've had some injuries, and they've done their job. So, we'll see what happens the second half. But I really love what they're doing running the ball.
Same here.
All right, I want to thank Vice and Henley, attorneys and counselors at law, for making this happen. They do our they sponsor our pregame show and our halftime show. Thank you to them. James, Jason, Brandon, let's have a good second half. I'll be up there with you guys on the call for the second half. That's going to do it for us. Thank you guys for tuning in. We will report back to you through social media once all this is done. But you guys hang in there, and we will see you again soon. Have a good night.